Hello, everybody. Hi. Okay, I am live. I'm sorry I'm late, you guys. I'm late. I I my internet was off for some weird reason, so it didn't so I'm on my phone instead of my um iPad, and I usually do it on my iPad. So, hello. Um It's Friday at 3 Eastern. That's when I go live. And so I'm here. I want to tell you about what's been going on with me and how it's kind of intertwined with some other stuff. And so I wanted to make sure I can see you. I don't usually wear these glasses. Well, actually, not sure. Anytime I'm reading, I wear these glasses. They're reading glasses. So if any comments come up, I will put my glasses on. And it's really hot today. And I've been out walking a lot. So I got really hot. So this all started yesterday when I had my usual breakfast of sunny eggs and 4 pieces of bacon. That's my usual carnivore breakfast. Unless, of course, I'm on the lion diet, but we don't need to talk about that. But so yesterday, I had my breakfast and then I did um, more social media stuff sitting there after I ate. Um, I do I manage my late husband's accounts. Um, he's his account on Instagram is still there, Dennis Perrin Fine Art. He was an artist. He created these amazing courses that teach people how to paint. He's got like, I think there's 18 courses, and we still try to sell them through his Instagram and Facebook accounts. So I help manage that. So yesterday we were working on it. My daughter and we were working on it. I spent more time on it sitting in my chair here than I usually do. So I didn't get a morning a second morning walk. I always walk 1 mile first thing in the morning, unless I'm in New York visiting my other son, and um, then I might walk 2 miles. But anyway, I usually walk a mile. And um, hello, what shoe size do I wear? Uh, why? I That's a weird question. I wear a size 10. I used to wear an 8.5, and then I had 3 babies, and now I wear a size 10. Anyway, so hi. So, um, I sat here in this chair until 11 o'clock and I didn't get my morning walk. So I checked my blood sugar. I was going to go on a morning walk after that at 11. I checked my blood sugar and it was 163. So I'm a type 1 diabetic. If you're here and you've subscribed to my channel, then you probably know. Hello, hello, Jess. Um, um, So let me tell you the story first before I start answering questions. Um, Maybe eggs and bacon are my favorite food. I don't know. So my blood sugar was 163, which is high for a type 1 diabetic. And I like my blood sugars to be, below 100. I don't like it to be too high because that causes damage. So I was upset that my blood sugar had gone high, and I had been having higher blood sugars than I normally do, which they normally are very good, right in range. And lately, the last maybe 2 weeks, they've been a little bit higher. So I was upset. So I said, well, I'm just going to go for a walk. So I went for a long walk and I came back and my blood sugar had come down slightly. It was 144, which is still about 50 points too high. So then I was like, well, I'm not even going to eat lunch then. I'm going to just walk again. So I walked again and then I came back and it was 133 and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep walking. So I walked straight from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I got my 10 miles for the day. And while I was out walking, that's one of the good things about walking is it's really good for thinking, right? So I thought, you know what I need to do? I need to empty my gluca- glycogen stores in my liver. And then So what happens when you eat a carnivore diet? You have better blood sugars. They're usually pretty even. But um if you eat just protein and fat, it'll still cause your blood sugars to go up. But supposedly it's not glucose, it's glycogen being squirted out. That's not the right term, from your liver. So if your glycogen stores are lowered by fasting, then you won't have as much to release when you're eating a carnivore diet as a type 1 diabetic. So I decided to fast. So I did not eat for the rest of the day yesterday. I should have, um, oh, there's a lot of activity going on. Oh, okay, thank you. North Dakota carnivore, they're all trolls, right? Yes. Um, well, anyway, so I woke up this morning and I did not eat either. I've decided that I want to fast for as long as I can. But the weird thing about fasting is, yes, my blood sugars did come down, but they've come down too much. I'm 62 right now. You really don't want to be like below maybe 75, and 62 is low. They've been as low as 48. I've had to eat what I correct my blood sugars with, um, which kind of means I'm not fasting, but if you're a type 1 diabetic, you have to be able to correct your blood sugars. These are St. Clair's Organics mints, and I like peppermint the best. They have a lot of different flavors, and you can get these either on Amazon or on their website. And that's what I use to correct my blood sugar with. Um, Type 1 diabetics really have to watch the glucose when fasting. Yes, we do. I mean, when I was younger, they just said if you're a type 1 diabetic, you can't fast. Oh, that's not true. You just have to, it's really easier with the CGM. I've got it on my phone, but I also have this and I use both of them. And it's completely possible to fast. I have not, I don't think you act. Oh, activating your digestion with those. I would not count them as. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I think. They're little tiny, they're one carb, and if my blood sugar goes really low, they're actually 0.75. If my blood sugar goes really low, I might take two or three. But this afternoon it kept going low and it kept going low and it kept going low. So I've probably had at least 10 and now it's still low, and which is crazy to think, but my fasting has done exactly what I wanted it to do. It's, got my blood sugars lower so that when I start eating again, maybe they're going to be more even and less likely to go high from a meal. And um, is it possible to fast while being allergic to milk? And I am vegetarian. I can't fast. Why would being allergic to milk have anything to do with fasting? I have I don't fast a lot because I really like my meals and I like the timing of my meals and I don't fast a lot, but when I feel like I need to, I will. Um, so a year ago, I did a 3-day fast and I'm gonna have to just keep these on because I have so many. Um, what does drinking milk have to do with anything? I never drink milk ever. Um, I don't drink milk. I don't. The only dairy I do right now is grass-fed butter, and I drink water. I sometimes use salt. If I'm feeling really draggy, right now I feel fantastic, but I might eat a little salt if I feel really draggy on a fast, and it helps me feel better. And then I like to have, it just gives me energy. It's great. I like to have spring water or um, sparkling water, which is really great. I walked a lot earlier before this, and um, I've got 8.8 miles. I try to do 10 miles every day most of the time. I did, but found out I'm allergic. So a lot of people are sensitive to milk. Milk was never meant to be pasteurized or homogenized. And sometimes if you um, can get raw milk from a local farm, you might do better. But there's no reason that, I mean, there's like Dr. Kilt says, there's no other animal that drinks the milk of a different animal. So it's kind of dumb that we ever do that. Now butter is made from milk and I get the best butter. I drive to a farm about an hour and 20 minutes away and she's got about 6, 4 or 5, 6. I'm not sure it differs, but she's got Jersey cows, the farmer, and she makes butter and it's raw, Jersey and grass fed. And it's expensive, but to me it's worth it. So I don't really eat other dairy products. Usually it's just the butter. Now, if I am at somewhere and there is cheese available, I might eat cheese, but I don't usually buy it. I have been craving cheese lately. I got that salt in my hand and it's bothering me. Um, Let me see what I said, what I was going to do. Okay. All right. So my plan is tomorrow when I fast, I'll be able to lower my insulin. So I take an insulin shot for the day, which is 5 units. And then I take it if I'm going to eat. I take some more, like 1 or 2 units for each meal. And then I take half of a unit at night. Unless I'm super strict lion diet, sometimes I don't need any at night. But I will lower my insulin tomorrow to 4 so that my blood sugars don't go low during the day. And then I'll be able to fast better without having to take my little mints. So, but it's really interesting because this afternoon I was listening on YouTube. When I walk, I listen to carnivore YouTube videos. So I was listening to Christy from Meeting Wellness, and she was interviewing Butter Bob. And they were talking about that it's all about insulin, that weight gain is all about insulin, that your insulin is too high. which is triggered from the food that you're eating. And if you're eating a carnivore diet, it's not going to trigger your insulin. Now, this is with a person who's not a type 1 diabetic, that they were talking about how if you want to be metabolically healthy and you want to be slim, or you don't want to be overweight and you want to be healthy, you need to have your insulin low. Now, the insulin that your own body makes, you want it to be as low as it can be, but still work. So that's one of the reasons why the carnivore diet works so much. Well, I thought it was really interesting because you can learn something from what all these type 1 diabetic carnivores. We have a Facebook group, and there's over 3,000 type 1 diabetic carnivores on our Facebook group. So there's plenty of us experimenting with the carnivore diet. And it's just called type 1 diabetic carnivores. Clever name, easy to remember. Um, so by doing this fasting and by eating carnivore, I can keep my blood sugars really low and my insulin needs. If I keep my insulin needs low, that means that I have a healthy metabolism. Just like a person who isn't a type 1 diabetic and they're keeping their insulin, well, not their insulin needs, but their insulin that they produce low, then that I'm not really explaining this right. It makes sense in my head, but but keeping your insulin needs down as a type 1 diabetic is just as important as keeping your insulin secretion down if you're not a type 1 diabetic. And this is what creates being healthy metabolically. I kind of think that works. So, um, anyway, I don't know if anybody, um, right, the carnivore diet. Okay, yes, I am a carnivore. I've been carnivore. I'll talk about this for a little while. I've been a carnivore for, um, it'll be 8 years in November, November 12th, it'll be 8 years that I've been a carnivore. So most of the time, I eat a diet of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Um, some people call it the triple B and E, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And it makes your grocery shopping really easy because you've got four things. You go in the store and you buy, and you go back to the back of the store and you buy beef, you go to the side, you got butter, and you go back to the beef to the meat counter and buy bacon and eggs, and that's it. And then you pay for it and you get out, and you're there for like 10 minutes. That's just one of the things that I really like about the carnivore diet is the simplicity of your grocery shopping. It's like so easy. And it's like, what do I need to buy at the grocery? I look in my fridge. Okay, what do I have? And I buy butter from a farmer, so I don't even have to buy that at the. Oh, come on, really? This is my blood sugar. It's 59. I'm gonna test my blood sugar on the meter to see if it agrees with that. Because sometimes the CGM, which is the thing on the back of my arm, it's reading interstitial fluid and it's supposed to be the same as blood sugar. And the meter tests blood sugar. And yes, well, it says 71 and my CGM says 59. So there's a little bit of a disagreement between those. It's a, what is this, 59? So it's just 12 points. So that's pretty close, but it's not as low um as it says. So I will correct that later. Um, let me see what we have here. Um, or yes, the BB's diet, beef, eggs, butter, bacon, intermittent fasting, and salt. Yes, you're right. Um, I have it's because the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, it just rolls off your tongue so easily. And Dr. Kiltz, because he is a fertility doctor, he says BBs, BEBBIS. And right. And I don't even intermittent fast much. I eat 3 meals a day when I'm eating, but when I'm fasting, I'm fasting. So and every now and then, actually, I'll just skip a meal. So a lot of carnivores eat 2 meals a day. Some carnivores eat 1 meal a day. You might hear them say OMAD. That means 1 meal a day. OMAD. It's pretty cute. But yeah. So anyway, oh, I was saying, sorry, I'm a little disorganized when I talk on YouTube, and I hope it doesn't confuse anybody. I wanted to say that um, I usually eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, or beef, eggs, butter, bacon, and salt. And unless I'm going to do the lion diet. Oh, Jasper, I don't think it's anything. The lion diet is a super healing diet of a carnivore, a variation of carnivore, and is 59 high? No, 59 is low. Like perfect blood sugar is 83. So anything in the, I'd say between 75 and 99 is a really good blood sugar. Um, you don't really want to go over 100, but in the low hundreds, it's okay, especially if it's after a meal. So 59 is pretty low. You start to feel shaky at 59. You might feel weak. If it goes lower, like earlier today, it was 48. Um, into the 40s, you might get confusion, and this is all caused because we have to take insulin because type 1 diabetics don't produce insulin. Your pancreas is supposed to produce insulin. The cells in the pancreas that produce insulin are called the beta cells, and they produce insulin. But in a type 1 diabetic, the beta cells have been killed somehow for some reason, either a virus or over medication. I think mine were actually caused from um, an antibiotic. Um, anyway, the symptoms of type 1 diabetes, that if you're not diagnosed and you think you're getting it, it is rapid weight loss and thirst and peeing a lot. And if you know of anybody who's peeing all the time, they've lost a lot of weight and they're thirsty and drinking water doesn't help, that's probably type 1 diabetes, and you need to get them to a hospital emergency room right away. But so anyway, so the lion diet, that's where I was before I read that. The lion diet is ruminant meat only, and it's a very healing form of carnivore because it leaves out anything that you could possibly have a sensitivity to. So I have been on the lion diet several times. In 2020, I did it for 3 months from I think it was uh, July through September, and then maybe it was 2024. I did that again the same months for 3 months, and then I've done it for 1 month 3 different times. So every now and then, when I feel like I need to be healthier or I need another push to get my insulin lower or something like that, I will do the lion diet. Um, but because I really enjoy beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, I love bacon and eggs and I love butter so much. And if there's a holiday, I like to make the oopsie cake, which is Kelly Hogan's recipe for the oopsie cake, which is cream cheese, eggs, and cream. So you can't eat that if you're doing the lion diet. So I have to pick a month where there's no holidays to start the lion diet. I know it's silly. The only I have known of a few type 1 diabetics who have, well, it's not dangerous. 59 is not, I would not say it's dangerous. Nobody's gonna, right. Well, yeah, I wouldn't say it's dangerous, but I guess it's going to be dangerous if it's going to drop lower. I've never passed out, and my blood sugar has been as low as 24 or 23, I think. Um, that's very low. I've never had to go to the hospital for low blood sugars or hypoglycemia in 55 years of type 1 diabetes. Um, but I do often go low, um, not that I want to, but it's very challenging to um, keep your blood sugar steady in the 80s and 90s. It's challenging. It's more challenging for me for some reason, and I don't really know why. But okay, I'm getting ready to end this. I want to say Sunday morning I'm planning on coming on here. Probably around, I don't know what time. I'm gonna do a makeup video on YouTube Live. So you guys who are all on here, you probably don't want to watch it, but I'm gonna do a makeup video. Um, and I have all organic makeup. I don't have any right here, but like I wear a lipstick that is by Stone and Spear. And I'll have my other makeups, and I'm gonna do, I think it's called Get Ready With Me. So that those, and it's all a different, all my makeup is either tallow based or organic. So I thought you might enjoy watching me put my makeup on. Um, I wanted to say that I am a Kilts health coach. I have a certificate, certification, sorry, from Dr. Kilts, and I do health coaching. I have a group that I do group coaching for, and we have a once a week Zoom. Right now, it's on Thursday nights. You pay by the month. It's $25 a month. We also have, that includes a WhatsApp group where we can share stuff all day long, every day. So you have direct communication with me pretty much anytime you want it. Um, for the group, it's a group of people who have issues with their blood sugar. They can be type 1 diabetics, type 2 diabetics, possibly just anybody who's had um, less than normal blood sugars and need help figuring out how to keep your blood sugars even and become metabolically healthy. So that's what the work is. And I am also on Instagram and on Facebook. Right now I am on as Amy Fields Perrin, although I'm considering changing my name and using the same name as um, my YouTube channel because I really like it. North Dakota Carnivore says there are several type 1 insulin dependent type 2s lifestyle, or overworked pancreas? Yes. Type 3 is dementia or Alzheimer's. All have their own risks and issues. Yes. And that's why I made the group, the Brisket Boomers community group, and we're all working towards better blood sugars because it's for type 1s, it's for type 2s, it's for someone who's working with dementia, like they call it type 3 now, or I've worked with LATA, which is a type 1.5 even. So yeah, I think that the carnivore diet is, and not everybody who's worked with me is a carnivore. They're at least very low carb. But I think that the carnivore diet works extremely well for people, well, all people, but for people who are having blood sugar issues, it always improves their blood sugars. So I think that's really great. And um, so if you want to join my group, just get in touch with me on either YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. I will have my I have a a website, and I'm hoping to make it easier to just, click and you can join the group. Click and pay with PayPal or Venmo, which is what I take. I haven't done it yet, but soon. It will be soon. So, anyway, thank you for tuning in. But what is the highest type? Oh, I don't know. They actually have called PCOS a type of diabetes as well. And I think they call that type 4. I'm not really sure. But um, I am going to sign off here. Thank you for watching and being here today. If you could like the video and subscribe to my channel, that would be great. And thank you for your attention. And I'll be back, like I said, Sunday morning, probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and probably 6:30, maybe 7, somewhere in that time period. And I will be back next Friday at 3 Eastern as well. So, anyway, okay, bye bye. Thank you. Have a nice, what is your name, North Dakota Carnivore? You know my name, and I'm Brisket Boomers. I know you are North Dakota Carnivore, but what is your name? Hmm, I guess I'll have to find out later. Um, that Lance. Okay, I saw your picture, and I know you, Lance. I just didn't realize that Lance was North Dakota Carnivore. Now I know. Awesome. Well, Lance, have a great weekend. Thank you for all the information and for taking part in the YouTube channel. It's awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.